Oh, yeah.
Hey there.
What's up?
Happy Monday. Freezing. God, my hands are still frozen from coming in.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm already ready for it to be 100 degrees out. I don't give a shit. I am not a winter person. I don't like any of that.
Me too, but we bought the
I've got
the ski pass this year.
I've got multiple. Oh, I can handle that.
We're gonna go do the
that
the
has
cold.
that serves a function. It's like you can't ski unless there's snow.
Yeah.
But like here, where it's like, okay, you wake up, it's 29 in Dallas. No thanks.
Yeah, this weekend it waited for it to get below freezing, and then like this gust of wind knocked all but 3 leaves off of this tree that has not like the big maple leaves, right? Like little bitty pain in the ass, like, and millions of them into my pool. I spent like 3 hours trying to clean it all out. It was sucking, like the skimmers got so full like every 5 minutes that it was like sucking air through and it couldn't hold prime. Like my wife goes out, she was trying to, I slept in a little bit on Sunday morning and
What
she
is
went
sleep
out.
in? What is that? What is
9.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she goes out. She goes outside. She comes back in and it's like the pool's making a weird bubble and it's doing a thing. So I had to run out there and like she had stuff to do that day, so she took off and like I think she thinks I like sat at home and like watched TV, but I was literally like, just like scrubbing the
manual labor, just killing.
I filled up an entire the
contractor bag?
trash can that you keep put like a keg in, big keg.
Oh yeah.
I filled up an entire thing with leaves.
Actually.
Yeah, entire thing full of leaves, wet leaves too, so packed down.
Oh yeah,
leaves.
and heavy.
Anyway,
bro,
that was it. I prefer the summer.
Yeah, the work, that everything that we do revolves around is also seasonal with nice weather.
Yeah.
And the photos look better and just across the board. The only thing I like about the winter and the holidays is I can actually be inside and do my workaholic thing and everybody else is like taking a knee.
Yeah.
And so that satisfies my puritanic.
Well, Wednesday we start our tour around Texas, so we got to go to Georgetown and we'll come back, and then we'll go to College Station.
Oh, like
then
the
we'll
holiday
come back,
tour.
We'll go to McKinney. Yeah, we'll go to Houston. Like we do this whole thing.
My goodness.
I told you we rented an RV a couple of years ago because
Yeah.
we were just like in so many places. We didn't want people to like make up a guest room for us because we're like, hey, we're here for a night, and then we're on.
Yeah.
It's like a traveling circus. We had the dog with us too, so
Oh,
like it was a
wow.
whole
Bro, okay.
we had dogs at the time. So anyway, what you got going this week?
This week is, what is this? Lots of hats off to Teresa Flood. The Upside, she's already dialing in and scheduling shows for next year.
Nice.
And so I know that she's interviewing Michelle on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that'll be that's her second appearance on the show. So I'm just excited now because I've been dialing in the brand kits on the back end and so we need like a transparent Be Local. Nobody ever
a good okay, I can do that.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. But where I was going with that is you would be shocked, or probably not, on how many folks have a logo, and kudos for having a logo, and shout out to Colette, I'm sure this probably drives her insane, where, because like last week, it was like Sunday night, I think, and Teresa and Colette and I are like triangulated in a text message where it's like, okay, font is this, hex code is this, transparent this, and okay, placement here. Okay, good. How about the shadow? So like that I love, where it's like everybody's in and everybody at least has a working knowledge of what we're talking about versus, fill in the blank small business. They come in and like, oh, here's our logo. And it's like, oh, it's the thumbnail JPEG
Yeah, it's
from
what
17
they
years
copied
ago.
it from their like Facebook.
Yeah, from
image,
17
yeah.
years ago that like, oh, you blow it up and it just gets exponentially worse.
I just Google searched this and then I copied it, saved it to file from the web. I got the web file.
Right.
It looks great.
Yeah, which is on a certain level, it's like, okay, you get points for doing that, for being able to figure that out. However, we want it to be where it's dialed in and consistent, so then that way everything can scale and it's not a mad scramble for that file or whatever every single time.
Yeah.
And so that's
like
what
every piece of content you're looking for like the right, you're like, oh, I don't have a large enough. Or yeah. If we can get a vector file from you, that'd be great.
Please and thank you.
I didn't have one. I just got business cards made and I couldn't get the right vector file for them. And I felt bad. Luckily they did a diving catch, Minutemen Press in Plano, Texas.
Nice. Oh yeah. I saw you post
Shout out
about
to them. Yeah. They just did the ribbon
you're
cutting.
already in the mix, man.
Yeah, well, I did want to show in the spirit of talking about things that are coming up in Plano. I met last week with the co-owner of Rover Drama Works. So did you know we have a nice I
did not.
nonprofit theater in East Plano?
I did not.
Very cool. So they do, and I'll show you this in a second. They do plays. The way he describes it is like, we don't do the famous plays. We do the plays that make those famous those playwrights famous. So like we won't
right on.
do. He gave a bunch of examples, but I'm not a theater kid.
Yeah, me neither.
But essentially, yeah,
like I would know the highlights. Like, Death of a Salesman.
yeah. So they're doing one hi Jason, that Jason's really excited about. It's called The Lady Demands Satisfaction. He gave me this poster.
Cool.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm camera 1, camera 2, but that starts January 15th. They are at the Cox Playhouse, the Cox Theater, which is off of Avenue H.
Okay.
And that's going to run for 2 weeks. That'll be January 15th to February 1st. If you want to come opening night and see me, me and Kat will be there. We're super excited to have, because we're going. We've already booked Wicked for the Dallas Performing Arts Theater. We are going in January to do at least a Broadway show or two. Like, we like doing the theater stuff, and so to know that there's something like this in our backyard.
Live theater, just because it's kind of the same muscle, but just a different exercise as like live music. And I'm always fascinated by anyone that is able to do the lather, rinse, repeat, where it's like, okay, we're doing this show, and you know, like old school would be like, oh, we're doing, you know, 7 days a week with a matinee on Sunday, you know, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
that's a thing,
yeah,
you know, but. And so, like, shout out to Michelle and her daughter, who is on Broadway as a costume designer, you know, and just the insane amount of work that goes behind all of that. And it's one of those things where I forget that that's a thing to do, that it's an option.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, better than going to a movie, and like just there's just something about live theater and the just the choreography and just everybody working together and it all kind of coming together live. Yes. You know, there is no cut. There's no what's my line. Can you do this again? Like, we roll with it, and sometimes you get to see there's a little bit of cracks somewhere.
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You go on the you know, the matinee with the understudies doing the thing, and like
it's like third string. They're practicing.
Yeah, there's something that's good about it. There's something authentic about it. I really like it.
They're getting their reps in.
So Rover Drama Works. Lady Demands Satisfaction starts January 15th, runs through the 1st of February. We'll be there opening night. That'll be my first foray into this place. So we're going to go check it out. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
I used to go a lot to, there's Theater 2. Or Theater 3, and then Theater 2 is like Theater Also, which is downstairs.
Theater TOO?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the Quadrangle. And that's the one where it's like, hey, local playwright has a thing, you know, has an idea or whatever, and they like workshop stuff. And we actually, holy shit, I hadn't thought about this since COVID. So when COVID happened, they literally turned it into a streaming situation. And so under Main Theater downtown, we went and shot. I have to look to see what the actual play was. I have to dig. Now I got to dig up this footage. But it was a multi-camera shoot, and I was there just doing BTS for some other friends of mine, and it was crazy to watch because they were making it up as they went.
Yeah.
So I very much was into that idea because it's what I've been doing the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was okay. Over here we're going to do, you know, Act 3, Scene 2, and set up a bunch of different angles, and then they just come in, they do it 3 or 4 times, and boom, okay, now we're going to go over here and do this. And I never actually saw enough to look up the final product, but it was like... that
was the fun part about that. If anything fun came out of COVID, it was learning to like improvise and find new ways to keep the world going around, right?
Yeah,
like how do you keep
hallelujah, essential business.
Yeah, right? You know, when they made realtors essential businesses, that changed everything.
Yes.
What else?
So last week we got together and we voted on the affiliate of the year at Metrotex.
Nice.
So that was cool.
Is that's still sealed in secret?
Yes. So that I think they changed up the chain of events. I think it's in January, February.
Okay.
Versus last year, because I just got the then and now or whatever, the memories thing on Facebook.
Cool.
Which was a trip. You know, it was at the. Oh no! I'm drawing a blank. But they blew the doors off last year, and so it's going to be at Metrotex this year. So a much more self-contained kind of a thing.
Cool.
But that was cool, and that really got me because you know we're in there. It's a committee of previous affiliates of the year, and I was like, wow, I really miss the community aspect of it. And I'm sure this is like the Be Local thing's probably like bleeding over subconsciously or whatever. You know, like Wayne and I were talking Friday. He's going to, so you can come back on this Friday if you want to do a little bit of Fired Up. He's going to Canada. Oh no, you just said you were going on tour.
I'm going to be on tour.
So everybody's on tour.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to have to
fly solo. Ashley should be here, right?
Or Michelle. You know what? I've never flown solo. That would be
interesting. I don't know if I could do that without somebody to like bounce off of.
Yeah, there's sort of the riffing thing is the fun part.
Because I try to record stuff like voice memos and things like talking points, like stuff comes to my head, and I don't do well like talking to myself.
There's an element of when you're talking to somebody, even like when we're doing subject matter expert stuff here, it's for most people, myself included, as far as I can tell, it's easier to have somebody that, even if you just pretend talking to them.
Yeah, for sure. Just to have a sounding board. Like, I don't do a lot of like right at the camera, like, hey, I'm talking to you. Like, that's just, it just feels, I don't know, that fourth wall, I just like to keep it there.
Yeah.
We'll just,
exactly.
You can be an observer.
There's a little bit more of an organic feel here versus like, oh, I'm doing my like PSA message.
Exactly. Like, here's my script and let me give you my.
Yeah, that's not my gig.
No.
Trying to think of what else we got going on. Well, and like I said, I've been doing the brand kitten, and Wayne and I were talking Friday. We were doing like our year-end recap or whatever, and actually we could do a little bit of that too. Where the biggest takeaway was, especially back to back with the events that we had a couple weeks ago. To see the gals do the Disruptor, and it was like packed house, packed. Of sponsors. We did the live little FOMO thing at the beginning. And all of that coming together. Basically, we're like, wow, these are all friends of mine.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I was hired to do this thing or whatever at a business event. It was, these are all friends of mine and they're kicking ass. And
it makes it stop feeling like work, man.
Dude, it does. Like, that stuff does not feel like work at all. Now we're exhausted, and like kudos to Austin for being a road warrior on all of that.
Yep.
And it's like, it's it's the good tired after it's all over.
Yeah.
And also too, just seeing if you could do it. So now, what do we got on the Be Local front?
Let's see. Well, I did want to talk about. I got an email this morning, so I haven't really like fleshed this whole thing out. But I got an email this morning from somebody that I have a meeting with in about an hour. And asked a question, a totally fair question. So I wanted a chance to kind of respond to this because it gives me an opportunity to clarify kind of what we do. He said, hey, Tanner, really look forward to our meeting today. Can you shoot me over Google Analytics and like from this year and last year of like web traffic and everything coming that's being created through Be Local, which is a totally fair question. If your mindset, if you've been in the historically, your marketing approach has been something like buying Google ads or boosting posts and things like that. You're getting in the metrics. And I think the fundamental difference is, and what I need to do a better job on the front end talking about is that if you're looking for conversion rates, if you're looking for like click-throughs and things like that, like this is not the play.
Yeah.
We are a hyper-focused, really local niche play. That's built on trust. We are a small number game, meaning that about 400 people are going to see this every month, and it's an aggregate distribution model, meaning that continues to grow as new people come on. So what we're about is exposing you as a trusted brand through Be Local, which is also a trusted brand, over and over again. And even Google will tell you that like the most impactful thing you can do is just repeated exposure to brand over time to build trust, right? They have this concept called, what is it called? ZMOT, right? It's like the zero moment of truth. It's the time at which you start, where a consumer will start doing the research. And what they're finding is like when ZMOT happens, when I go start looking on Google reviews, or I go to somebody's website or something like that, like I'm shopping, but my decision is heavily influenced or maybe has already been made. I'm looking for confirmation.
Yes.
This is where I become a justification machine.
They really want just confirmation of what they already believe, or they want that sort of psychological payoff that I made the right choice.
Precisely.
Because I'm smart, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. So I do see this question a lot where it's like, hey, what's your click through? And I was like, okay, man, you're playing Tinder. You're on Tinder.
Yep.
Right? Like you're looking for swipes, you're looking for these leads, and we are not Tinder, and we're never going to be that. We are eHarmony. Right? We build trusted relationships. We connect people early when they're in active buying cycle, when they're ready to do something, and the money's in the marriage. Because if you get them early and they trust you, as long as you execute, they will never leave.
Yep.
Never. Because it's convenient.
Exactly.
And that's what we're about, right? And so there does take a little bit of buy-in to say like, okay, I believe in this. I believe in connecting with people early when they're in the active buying cycle, when they're looking for new services, right?
And one of the things you were saying before, it's like, this isn't for everybody.
Oh no, absolutely not.
It's like, you're going to fill the magazine and it's going to be filled with the people that understand, because like a lot of times people come at it from the thing, well, like, convince me to do this, and it's like,
not interested.
Yeah, I'm not in the convincing business.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I say when we sit down. It's like, hey, this conversation is usually in the first couple minutes you're going to decide whether or not this is like makes sense to you.
Right.
It either does or it doesn't. Because if you're chasing numbers, if you're in this kind of like Google Analytics mindset, then we're not going to mesh on it, because you're going to call me in 4 months and you're going to say like, I haven't gotten enough leads. I haven't gotten as many leads or conversions or clicks, and so we're
my
measuring
CAC
the wrong
on this
thing.
is just ridiculous. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and then what's the expression? If you can't measure what you want, you measure what you can.
Yep.
Right, and that's the pitfall we fall into, is we start measuring the wrong thing, right? And we use that as our metric for success. And sometimes it's just hard to measure this type of activity and the value.
I would say it's almost impossible. And
unless we want to be an ad book where we put like coupon codes and stuff, which we are not.
Yeah, that whole thing of like where you're tracking everything and all of that. It's
Buy
like,
a Valpak.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
do they still do
that
green
can
sheet or
also
whatever?
be a strategy. Like, I'm not. This isn't everything. Like, Be Local isn't the end all be all one stop shop. It's this and it's a complementary. It's a tentacle of your marketing octopus, right? Because you need repeated exposure to the brand through multiple mediums to develop trust.
Yes.
Right. This being point of first contact. Right. A trusted brand recommending a business is the closest thing I can get to word of mouth in a situation where they don't have word of mouth.
Right.
They just moved.
They came in cold. Mm-hmm. It literally is a cold lead.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the big difference, and I get to go have this conversation about 45 minutes with the person that asked it. But it's a totally fair question, and I don't want to dismiss it.
Well, especially if their business is essentially like scattershot, where it's like, okay, all we're trying to do is cast the widest net and get as many in. Where it's not, if it's a transactional business, then you want transactions. It isn't necessarily going to be conducive to that whole relationship mindset. It isn't something that you would even think of and be like, yeah, whatever.
And to be honest, like, we're not looking, if you're just trying to get in, get out, like, we're just not the business model for you anyway. Like, we look for small businesses that are relationship focused and have
like you said, it's a compatibility thing. It's like the dating game.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to connect you with those people who are also looking for long-term relationships. But there are plenty. I mean, if you want to just go get some leads, like, I know I can connect you. I've got a guy, Evan, that does some really cool stuff finding like hot leads and can deliver them to you. I can set you up with that too, or connect you with the right person. That's kind of part of my 2020. I don't really do New Year's resolution, like, so my 20, but I do think about like what I want to focus on.
Same.
Right. And I think one thing I actually posted it the other day is I always say that, like, be the reason two people know each other, right? But I think I'm going to work much more intentionally in 2026 of facilitating the connection. Right, and not just being like, "Hey, I know a guy," and like dropping their contact info or something, because that's usually what I do. Like, in passing, we're in a conversation. Somebody's like, "Oh, I'm looking for this," and I'm like, "Oh, I happen to know this guy. His name's Robert. He's great. Let me send you his contact." And cool. But over the past few weeks, I've been taking a more active role in that.
The warm hug.
Yeah.
The group text message.
Yeah, I say group. Did you come up with group hug?
Yeah, I always, because
you
I
say
like,
group hug.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the group hug text message.
People laugh. I say that all the time. I was like, hey man, like, I'm going to do a little group hug text for everybody. And I did that where I had, I was meeting, the names will be erased or changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah.
But I was meeting with an insurance company, and we were talking about Be Local, and he mentioned like insuring golf carts and some different things, and I was like, I know the owner of a really awesome golf cart place. Like, he would probably be interested to hear that you have something special.
Specific. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, and I texted him and I was like, hey man, I'm talking to this insurance guy, and he's like, yeah, usually we just tell them to go to their insurance company. And I was like, would you be interested in talking with an insurance company that's knows, like, that's like put some thought into what this might look like, so you can be an advisor to the people that are buying stuff? And he's like, absolutely. So warm hug. Hey, Jacob meet Josh. Right. And
speaking of that just jogged my, so like I'm having a piano moved Tyler, black tie. Well, so this is one where I have a warm hug for you, where it's there. So I can't remember. The gal was perfectly wonderful, but it was the concierge thing where she does the follow up because she thinks I'm moving from across Texas or whatever, and then I was like, oh no. I was like, and it was
the piano so I can for the repairs, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it was like literally moving a piano. And because, like you and I are in this world where it's like, okay, we're connected to everybody that does everything. Well, it was literally like, okay, I got a guy. Hey, Tyler. And again, shout out to Tyler at Black Tie, where it's like literally, what would it be? I'm just shooting him text messages, just like rando dumbass questions. Cause it's like, what do I know?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, it would be this, it would be this, it would be this. And then he goes, so I get him all the details, and I'm like, sold. And he goes, if you don't care when, we can do this. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Well, the utility concierge follows up. And then when I'm like, oh, no, I'm not moving. It's just this. And she's like, oh, well, it was on a truck for, and I'm like, yeah. So I go into the long story. It's like, well, because, I got a guy or whatever. And, but like there I said, hey, you know what? I have somebody that would be interested that might be interested in talking about the concierge setup for people that move here, so I have that little bit of content.
That I would be interested in that. It's not Diane Davis, is it?
No.
Z Upkeep?
No.
Okay. I love her. She helped me with my move. Hi, Diane.
Oh yeah. Hi, Diane. She's also an affiliate of the year.
So it gets better because I talked about, I introduced the golf cart guy. Well, then I go have coffee with the golf cart guy again. We're about the same age and we both small business owners, and we just like to sometimes just bounce something off the ideas off somebody that just doesn't know anything about your business and can get like a fresh set of eyes. So we're sitting there having coffee, and he was talking about how he needs to is trying to focus more on like golf cart communities and like stuff like that. And I was like, I know. By the way, I have agents in every one of these golf cart communities. And some of them just dominate their space, right? That would love a partnership to say like it's a non-zero number of families that they help move in that need or will buy a golf cart. In fact, like I can probably connect you with builders that have floor plans that have golf cart garages. Right, like
with the charger gimmick, the whole night.
Yeah, the whole. I mean, have you seen like the mini garages? Yeah. There's a handful of places in around the Metroplex that has these side. It's like a 3-car garage and baby garage, or 2-car garage and baby garage.
Right,
it's cute. But you see a lot of those, and I was like, I can hook you up with those, and so made those warm introductions, and now they're replying, and then those people are like, it just better connecting your network does so many doing good stuff because it's good, without the expectation of things coming back to you. Fundamentally works,
100%, and that's how I actually got here.
Yeah, and so like that goes down to like me singing my happy birthdays to everybody and just like trying like so it's my 2 things for 2026 are basically to take a more conscious role in connecting people, like actively facilitate it when I can. And think about that. And the second is to gamify my relationships to where I am trying to treat everyone better than it's reciprocated.
Yes.
Right? My actively trying to do better for others than they do for me, especially when they don't deserve it. Right?
Yeah.
And I say,
those are extra karma points,
because my dad, before he passed, used to always talk about what is it? The characters, the things you do when people aren't looking, and like I kind of buy into that, but really, like I feel like it's the when you're showing like emotional maturity and emotional depth, it's how you treat people that don't treat you the way that you should be treated, right?
100%.
And can you treat them better than they treat you, right? Especially when they don't deserve it, especially when they're being crass or mean or trolling or, and to meet them with compassion or kindness.
Or even just neutrality.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, whatever's going on over there, cool.
But understand, like, wherever that's coming from, isn't it you?
Oh, yeah,
nobody gives a shit about you or what's in your head or what you're doing. Like, people are in their own, I'm the hero of my own story. I'm not
main character syndrome.
You're not going to convince me otherwise, right? My motives are pure and true. And if they're not,
the good guy.
If there's not, there's a reason that they're not. Right.
Yeah, I'm perfectly justified.
So like meet people there and like if somebody's treating you like shit, there's something going on in their lives that they probably need some grace. Right. It's probably not you.
Yes,
probably.
And the biggest way for me that I learned that lesson was to have a bunch of shooters that are out there, and sometimes like you said, stuff comes out sideways, and so I'm having to talk them off the ledge because creatives, they're gonna have their feelings all up in everything.
Especially when the client's mad, and they feel like they let you down.
Everybody's mad, and they're letting you down, and they're letting themselves down, and they suck, and pile it all on, and whatever their inner monologue is, throw that in the mix.
Yep.
And it's a lot of times it's like, look, dude, you're there, and everything is going, 31 flavors of effed up in their life right now, and you're a stationary target.
Yep.
It odds are has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, you're just catching strays.
Exactly. Yeah, you are a stationary target, and you are obligated to take a punch, given the power dynamic of where you're at. And it's like comes with the territory.
Yep. Absolutely.
And there have been some times where the team member was 100% correct. And it's like, well, I want to say this, this, and this. I'm like, oh yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
However, you would win in the moment. Nobody cares. You would feel better. And then you would be a cancer that every time they had the opportunity to shit on you by name to anybody that would be even remotely connected to working with you, they're going to.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, they're never going to call you 18 months from now and tell you all the jobs you didn't get.
Yeah.
So
just saying being right isn't always right.
Yep. And that sort of neutral thing where it's like, oh, I'm just, it's not that I don't care. It's just that it's like, everybody's, like you said, everybody's the main character in their own story. And, well, they're the protagonist. So that means shit is happening to them.
Yeah, shit is happening to them.
To them. And it's not that it's happening to them. And if you are in a position where in the moment they have the high ground, you might get pummeled. And then of course, we're in the service industry,
so we do take our lashings just by default, just for existing.
You kind of volunteered for that. But overall, it allows you to, like you said, to where, dude, shit that used to bother me 7 years ago doesn't even register. And it's like, okay, wow, okay, I've advanced beyond that only because I had to, not because I woke up with the conscious decision of like, I'm going to get better at handling angry people. It was like, okay, well, I could let it kill me, or I could realize, and then I try to make the equation 51% on my point or at my part all the time, because at least then, karmically speaking, I know that I'm not actively working anybody over,
Yeah.
And so at least then, in the grand scheme of things, I'm in the clear.
Yes, they treat everybody right, like even when it's to your detriment, and I think that's the hardest thing, right? Is to like eat one.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. I couldn't tell you how many times that
even when it's not the right thing to eat one, like, and that's really the hard thing. It's like, hey, I'm gonna help somebody out or whatever, but like, yeah, when they don't know that you're actually taking one for the team, and you're doing the right thing, and it's all behind the scenes, and
behind the scenes sometimes it's like you give them their money back and their content, and be like, hey, you know what, we're not a fit.
Yep.
But mazel tov,
Exactly.
Knock yourself out.
Yep. Do we have anything else? About half an hour in?
No, I think we're ready to rock.
That's a wrap. All right. Be nice to everybody. Happy holidays. I don't think I'm going to be here. I'll be here on Monday.
Okay.
You can still do Monday?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, I'll be back. We're going to do the trip, and then we come back, I think, Sunday night, and then I've got to swap the suitcases, and we're off again.
All right, on. All right, brother.
Have a good one.
Yes. I think we're ready to rock.
That's a wrap. All right. Be nice to everybody.